Hi, we live obviously in amazing times. Case in point, I'm recording this on something called a phone that, not only calls people, but can put my voice and image out into the digital stratosphere where it can be seen by friends and family and many more people if I happen to say something horrifically controversial. But what I'm about to say is not at all controversial. One of the most amazing things about these times that I've rediscovered recently is the public library. Have you seen your public library lately? No, you haven't. Probably not. I hadn't. Every single time I go to the public library, there's something that blows my mind. This recently is the one for today. There's a smart book return, intelligent book return. What it is you go in, and it looks like an ATM, and you go in here, and it says, I can't even see what I'm showing you. It says, pick your language. You go, boop, English, and then the slot opens up. You put in your book. You slide it in there, and it checks it in automatically, right? Okay, great. So you're like, great, awesome. It's a book return that's like an ATM. Okay, awesome. Well, it checks it out instantly. It checks it back in instantly, right? You can put it in the book drop, which is also great, but you just have to wait for someone to be there in the morning, which is fine. But this is just interesting, okay? Moving on. It's raining, so I'm going to run. I rediscovered the public library recently because my wife and I were like, hey, we need to start saving money. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I can start, we can start checking stuff out from the library. I'd gotten into this habit a while back of like buying comic books. I hadn't done it for a while, but like every once in a while I want to read a comic book and I would be like, oh, cool, I'll just buy it on Amazon for like whatever, because I'm an adult. But so recently, like Suicide Squad came out, right? And I was like, oh, hey, I don't know that much about the Suicide Squad. It'd be interesting to like read something. Well, I'm not going to buy a comic book for that. And then I was just kind of like, well, maybe they got it at the library. And then I was like, well, you know what? I've got a library account, but I don't necessarily want to drive to the library. Is there any way I could be lazier? Is there any way it's like more convenient? And I just logged on, and the library, the Austin Public Library, is part of or uses a system, a service called Hoopla, which is basically like a virtual library. They've got, it's almost like free Netflix. They've got movies, they've got audiobooks, they've got books, they've got comics, they've got, I think, music even. Like you can just download that stuff for free and check it out. So there's that, right? So I just went on there and checked it out, and sure enough, they had the relevant issues of Suicide Squad, and I could check it out and read it. It's on my computer right now. I haven't read it yet, but I could. Then there's like all the physical stuff they got, right? I mean, obviously the library has everything: Blu-rays, movies, books. They've got free computers for people to come in and use. They've even got like a station. The one that, by our house has a laptop station where you can check out a laptop and use it in the library. They've got free internet, obviously. They give you these physical things, the books and the movies and all that stuff, for like 3 weeks, for like 21 days, for like a month almost, right? And then when you have had their thing for a month and then you're a little bit late on it, they charge you like a tiny minuscule amount, like cents a day or whatever. But then even after they're like, oh, hey, you got it, whatever, then you can just renew it. And the fines go away and you've just rechecked it out. I mean, you still got to pay the fine that you have to pay, but like you get it for another 21 days. And then you can renew it again and you get it for another 21 days. And then you can bring it back to them. And you don't have to do it while they're open. You can bring it to like the intelligent, friendly Skynet book return. You can take it to the slot in the side of the building or the whatever you got. And so you don't even have to do it when they're open. You can even take it to a different library, any of 21 Austin Public Library locations. I don't work for the library. I just think it's amazing. It's kind of like if you had a friend and you were like, hey man, can I borrow this movie? I wanted to see it. And your friend was like, oh yeah, someone else wanted to borrow it, but like, yeah, you can borrow it. Like, yeah, just bring it back within a reasonable amount of time. And you go, okay, cool. And you take it home. And then your friend calls a month later and goes, hey man, that guy, he wanted to watch that movie too, and I promised I'm gonna let him borrow it. Do you think I can have it back? And you go, oh yeah. Just let me have it for like another month. And he goes, okay, yeah, that's all right. Okay, keep it for another month. And then another month goes by, and he goes, hey, that guy really wants to borrow it, and like I just want to make sure, maybe did you lose it? I don't know. And you go, yeah, it's cool. Just let me keep it for like another month. And then you get to keep it for 3 months, right? Was that 4 months, 3 months? I don't know. You get to keep it for 3 months, essentially, less than 3 months. And then say your friend calls you and goes, hey man, I really need it back. And you go, cool. I'm gonna bring it back, but I'm gonna bring it back at like 3 o'clock in the morning, okay? While you're not even awake. And they're like, yeah, that's okay. You can just like leave it
I guess, on the doorstep or whatever. And you go, cool, 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 cool. And you hang up. And you call them right back and go, actually, I'm going to bring it back at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I'm going to bring it to one of the 21 mutual friends we have. I'm just going to bring it to them, and they're going to take time out of their day, and then they're going to bring it back to you. So that's how you're going to get your movie back. And he goes, okay, that's okay. And then you do that, and as soon as they bring it back in, or even before they bring it back in, you go, so I'm going to do that. And also, by the way, can I borrow like 7 more books from you and 7 more movies and just keep them for another 3 months? And then do the same thing again, even though I've established this terrible track record I have? And your friend goes, yeah, that's okay. Sure. That's the library. They're the most forgiving places of all time. And they're completely free. And you can access all these services. And they have free events. Like we want to watch like Dazed and Confused for free at the library that was part of the shooting of Dazed and Confused at one point. They have great stuff. They had snacks. They had like free snacks at this free Dazed and Confused screening that like we just were like, we wanted in the library, and they're like, hey, we're showing Dazed and Confused in like 20 minutes. Do you want to watch it? I was like, yeah, I haven't seen that in a while. We went in, they had free Dazed and Confused, free snacks. Where does the budget for that come from? I mean, obviously it comes from city money, but it's just amazing. It's amazing. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. We have a daughter. I can't wait to take her to the library when she's old enough. It's just great. They have all sorts of programs. They even like have like English classes for people who are trying to learn English. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. They have book clubs. They have all sorts of stuff. I probably will never join a book club, but it's there. It's there for me to use. It's great. It's great. Yeah, at the risk of sounding not at all controversial, at the risk of sounding over the top wholesome, go to your public library. It's amazing. It's great. That's it. I love the library. All right.